from the stuck loop to the unsetting sun. The thought returned again. You know the one. You know which one it is without my describing it. The thought that has a particular trajectory, always beginning at the same point, moving through the same evidence, arriving at the same unresolvable question, and then cycling back to the beginning. The thought that has worn grooves in the brain tissue, or so it feels, the specific ease with which it initiates, the familiar quality of its arrival, the way it can begin in the space between two sentences, in an unrelated conversation, and be at full speed before you have noticed it started. It returned again. The default mode network, the brain system responsible for self-referential thought, autobiographical memory, social simulation, and future planning, does not rest when you are not focused on a task. It activates. It runs its default program, and its default program is process unresolved material. The DMN is designed to work on problems when conscious attention is not directed elsewhere. Dreams are its nighttime version. Rumination is its daytime version. The thought that returns is the DMN's ongoing attempt to resolve an open file, something that has not been closed, has not been processed to completion, that remains active in the system as unfinished business. This is, in principle, adaptive. The DMN running on unresolved problems while conscious attention is elsewhere is how insights arrive in the shower, how solutions emerge in the middle of the night, how creative connections form between apparently unrelated domains. The DMN is not broken when it ruminates. It is doing its job. The problem is the class of problem. Some problems are not resolvable by the kind of processing the DMN does. The betrayal cannot be undone by thinking about it harder. The uncertainty cannot be reduced to certainty by rerunning the evidence. The loss cannot be recovered by reconstructing what was lost. The question does not have an answer that satisfies the part of the mind asking it, and so the DMN processes, and the thought returns. Not because the DMN is failing, but because the DMN is applying the right tool to a problem that requires a different tool. The thought does not arrive. It reconstitutes, full charge, mid-sentence, already certain, before you knew it was coming. The thought's return is not neutral. Each return is accompanied by the full emotional load of its original context. The DMN does not file these separately, the cognitive content in one place, the emotional charge in another. They are stored together. Each recall reactivates both, and the reactivation produces the same physiological response. The cortisol, the vigilance, the specific somatization of the worry or the grief or the humiliation. So the thought does not just return, it returns with its original charge, which produces a somatic response, which the DMN interprets as continued salience, the physiological arousal signals. This is important, attend to this, which increases the probability of the next return. The DMN processes unresolved material. The processing generates distress. The distress signals, still unresolved, keep processing. The loop runs on its own exhaust. The stuck loop is not a processing failure. It is a self-sustaining system in which the processing produces the signal for more processing. And the meta level, the thought about the thought, the awareness that the loop is running. The secondary distress of, why can't I stop thinking about this? The judgment of the rumination produces distress about the rumination, which is itself unresolved material for the DMN, which adds another loop around the original loop. The obsession engine generates its own maintenance schedule. Shankara, in the Upadesa Sahasri, awareness is the unsetting sun that illuminates the three states, waking, dream, deep sleep, without being stained by them. The unsetting sun, not a setting sun, not one that rises and sets with the states it illuminates, but the prior source of illumination that was there for the waking state and was there for the dream and was there for the deep sleep and is there now, reading this sentence. The stuck loop is a state. It arises. It runs. It returns. It runs again. These are all events in the waking state. The awareness that is present for all of these events, that knows the loop has run again, that knows the thought has returned, that watches the rumination complete its circuit and begin again, that awareness is not in the loop. Not metaphorically, structurally. Right now, if the familiar thought is present, or the anticipatory awareness of it, or the exhausted knowledge that it will return, something is aware of this. Something is receiving the fact of the loop. That something is not running on a loop. It is present. Once for each loop the DMN runs. Not caught in the cycle, witnessing the cycle. The sun does not go around in circles. The thoughts go around in circles, in the light of the sun. This is not a way to stop the rumination. The DMN runs its program regardless of whether you are identified with it or watching it. The loop may continue for a long time. What changes is not the loop. What changes is who is inside the loop and who is outside. When you are identified with the thought, when the fact of the loop's return is itself experienced as evidence of its content's truth, when the return confirms the fear, you are inside. The sun has been mistaken for one of the events it illuminates. You are the thought, this particular cycle of returning thought, and the returning is the universe telling you that the thought is important. When the awareness is recognized, you are the sun. The thought is weather. It returned because the DMN is doing its job with an unresolvable file. The return is not confirmation. It is not evidence. It is the system running. The sun illuminates the return. The sun does not endorse it. Something in the awareness of the loop relaxes. Not the loop. The loop may keep running for now. But the secondary suffering, the distress about the distress, the judgment of the rumination, begins to dissolve, because the distress was the sun believing itself to be the weather. When the sun remembers what it is, the weather is just weather. Let the thought return. Know that it will return. You have given this thought more hours than it deserves. The thought cannot tell you this. It can only return and know what knows it is returning. The thought circles. The sun does not move. The thought is as old as the last time it arrived. The sun was there before the first time.